think it's common knowledge by now that Ouija boards are not to be screwed around with. It's definitely a split debate between people who believe they're jokes and those who are too afraid to even allow one in their homes. Still, I think there's a part of everyone, whether they believe it or not, that fears Ouija. This story is a little different, but it has the same primary focus. I don't have a ton of friends. While most kids were playing outside and watching Disney films, I would read Stephen King books and watch horror movies that were clearly not meant for children. I'm not going to play the whole I'm better than everyone else because I'm weird, nor will I say that everyone hated me because of this fact. I just prefer being away from the others. I blended into the wallpaper as I grew up. I started opening up a little in college. I made 5 really good friends, ones that were all into the stupid horror things I was into. We started having movie Fridays. We wouldn't always watch movies though. Sometimes we'd read stories or play video games together on the large screen monitor in the middle of my living room. I stumbled upon this website while looking for new games to play on Fridays. It was basically a virtual Ouija, but not quite the same. Instead of having individual letters and a planchette that all users would have to touch, it had 2 simple text bars and a go button. One said petition, the other said question. Research pulled up very little about the site, other than the fact that it was scary accurate. I decided that I would bring it up at the next get-together on Friday. Everyone sat in their accustomed places. Anita stretched out on the floor, mostly screwing around on her phone. Nick in burgundy armchair on the other side of the room. Beth, Tyler, and Elise on the couch. Myself in the recliner. We chatted quietly for about half an hour before I finally stood to reveal what I had planned for the evening. I had told them earlier in the week that I had something special, but most of them looked uncomfortable by the way that they had got the gist of what the site actually was. Basically, you type a petition into the top bar, something like, "Can you please answer this question?" And then you type your question into the bottom bar. It's much like a Ouija board, except this leaves room for more lengthier answers. There was silence. I had already had the site pulled up on the monitor. Finally, Anita spoke up. "Dude, you know we discussed this before. None of us want to screw with spirits like that." This caused a debate that would go on for a while. There was a static charge in the room at the time we all, some hesitantly, agreed to at least try it. If it got too intense, we could always quit and do something else. I grabbed my wireless keyboard and typed the petition. I looked up at everyone. "Okay, what should we ask?" Everyone was silent. Nobody really wanted to speak up. "Fine, I'll do it myself." I typed, "Is anyone there?" A loading bar showed up below the 2 text bars, then yellow text. "Hello, I am here." Someone scoffed, but I didn't see who. I typed the petition again. "How many people are here?" Loading. There are 6. And myself. I looked around. Unease rested on the faces of everyone in the room, but there's also a little excitement there. Suddenly, everyone wanted to chime in with the question, mostly what color is my hair, or what brand of phone do I have? All of which answered correctly. Everyone soon wanted to type the questions themselves, mostly to make sure I wasn't rigging it somehow. It was all good and fine until the keyboard reached Tyler, who had been the most reluctant. Still, he was just as excited as everyone else. He typed the petition and his question. Loading. I don't want to talk to him. A silence fell over the room as everyone looked at each other with confusion, except Tyler. Without looking away, he handed the keyboard to me. Petition. Then question. Who do you not want to talk to? Loading. Tyler. That one with the red hair. I looked over at him. He trembled a bit as he started to chew his nails. Beth grabbed his waist gently as he lowered his hand from his mouth. Petition. Question. Why don't you want to talk to Tyler? Loading. His soul is already claimed. Petition. Question. Who has Tyler's soul? I didn't want to press enter, evaluating the faces of everyone around the room. They were all either staring at the screen in complete wonder and fright, or looking down at their laps. I hit enter. Loading. Those that hide in the shadows. They've been looking for him for a long time. With this, Tyler stood up and walked out the door, Beth chasing after him, only stopping to shoot me a worried, helpless look. Everyone else trickled out, and I decided to turn off my computer and go to bed. Before I can close the window, the loading bar showed up, despite the fact that nothing was typed. They'll get you, if they can. The next week, no one really wanted to get together. I hadn't talked to Beth or Tyler. Both of them stopped showing up to class. 2 weeks passed, then 3. Friday meetups were a thing of the past. None of us talked anymore. If we saw each other on campus, we'd wave. But that was it. About 3 months after, I got a phone call from Tyler at about 4 a.m. He was crying. Whatever that thing was, it was right. They're following me. They get closer by the day. God, I'm so scared. He whimpered before the line went dead. I rushed out of bed into some shorts and out the door within minutes. It only took 5 for me to get to his apartment on campus, but the police were already there. Man, in his 20s, jumped from his window. Later, I would learn that it was Tyler. Whatever Tyler saw touched everyone else in the group in one way or another. Within a 6-month period, misfortune grazed everyone. Anita had a horrible miscarriage. Elise had her house burned down, thankfully with no casualties. Nick was mugged, and they beat him up pretty bad. Beth, who was closest to Tyler, got it the worst. Her brakes failed in her car, causing a crash that would paralyze her from the waist down. Yes, misfortune touched everyone, except for myself. A year later, I found myself staring at that website again. I don't know if it was curiosity or just anger. I watched my friends deal with horrible things. I was the one that introduced them to this site. It was my fault, and yet I hadn't experienced anything horrible. I typed the petition once again. Can you please answer this question? Then the question. Why has nothing horrible happened to me, like my friends? Enter. Loading. They have no use for you. You have no soul.